So the grill is ready and it's time for this Monday morning beef. Jules is joining us today. Good morning, Jules. How are you feeling?
Thanks so much for having me. I feel like everyone does after a weekend. So happy to be here on a
Yes?
Monday.
Rejuvenate. You
bright
are
and
wearing
early.
bright colors too as well. I can clearly see
You
the
can
sunshine
see.
in you.
I decided I would match with you.
Oh my goodness, you know what? We are twinsies. All I'm to do the ball in my head and then we can't tell who the what.
Wow. There we go. The love,
Here it
the love.
begins.
See, that's the excitement that you were looking forward to today.
I
Right?
see.
But also we're looking forward to this conversation that we're having with you today. As always, the Monday morning beef. So much people are waiting to have this conversation to hear what's going to be the input. What happened? What's happening in Jules' mind? You know.
Why? That's not a good place to
I
be.
just
That's
myself,
not
oh.
Yeah,
But yeah.
exactly.
So let's get started, shall we? So let's talk about Jasmine Hartin.
J Hart.
Jay Hart. She is back on the scene again. When it started last week, when there was so much allegations that there was a hit placed on the commissioner and the magistrate, and everybody was speculating who is this North American woman. But then eventually it came out as Jasmine Hartin is alleged to be this person. She's under investigation. Anything you want to contribute to that?
Well, first of all, I think it was. There is a term in the streets, and I can't use it because it has an expletive. But you are blanking after breeze,
Okay.
right? I think that if you look at the origin of the story, the story began with a kind of lover's spat, right? Now it may not be the intensity of lover's spat that you are used to, but Miss Hartin, it is alleged by Mr. Lionel Piggy Neal, they had a relationship and things gone crossway. And so, when things go crossway in volatile, turbulent relationships, there are all types of allegations. He did this, she did that, all types of he said, she said.
Yeah.
So it seems that it was a very dramatic case of he said, she said, where he said, she said, so and so fit dead.
House burn down.
Oh, exactly. But
Wow.
we know that
You
that
naive.
that in the course of any relationship, you hear if someone is at the edge of their thin edge of the ledge, or if someone is maybe under their alcohol or anything else they may use, you hear all kind of craziness.
Right.
Your boss for dead, Jules for dead. This next one, a politician, whatever. I'm just saying, these things come out in relationships. So I really feel that it was just, she made a complaint against him
Yeah.
because he was making certain demands of her. He made a counter complaint, and these things happen a lot. However, it was escalated because of perhaps who she is. And she has certain behaviors. She texts a lot of people. I mean, she's always a text the commissioner of police. I've seen texts she sent to other police officers saying like, you're going to jail. And always at night, I've seen these text messages. You're going to jail. You're going to sleep in bed in a jail. Senior police officers, she the text. So she's inviting this type of scrutiny.
She is.
Sending. You know what I'm saying? But
Like you would make your bed, so you kind of have to lay night now.
Right. And
Exactly.
I'm thinking Mr. Neil goes like, anything for you, baby.
right, exactly. So I'm just saying, but then this whole furor is created. You know, they have to hire a boat to bring her into the city.
Wonder how much
Hundreds
that
of dollars
may
in gas. Exactly. And I'm just saying, it's really just a sort of low-down relationship. How they say it in Spanish? Amor de perros.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of a grimy relationship that just get exploded. And in the middle of it is this guy, Lionel Piggy Neal. And man, it's just really, really want for the nuts and bolts of a turbulent relationship, and that's what we all got into.
Oh, he calls it a common law, Jules. You need to get it
He
correct.
says,
Common law for 7 months. Get it correct, Jules. You have to.
yeah, it's just that like a trail of drama follows Jasmine Hartin.
It does.
Because there was another guy who was linked to her in Kikaka who jumped off a building and fell to his death.
Yeah.
And there was an allegation that he had been high on substances, and he did that I'm just saying that, you know, she's a lot, and I'm not going into I'm not saying from a misogynist perspective. I'm just saying that as a personality, she attracts. You would think that if you have a manslaughter charge by you and just be like, yo, I know going outside, I know I deal with nothing, I depend on bail, I just ain't chill. She's not that girl. She detects the commissioner of police with regularity. She detects senior police officers with regularity. I'm told she's texting other people in the judiciary as well.
Isn't that illegal as well, right?
What's that?
That's completely illegal what she's doing.
In terms of texting people with,
But given that she's on a court case and then getting involved with
it's not illegal. It's just very ill
Not the,
advised.
it's not the
not
wisest
ethically right?
thing to
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
It's not. It's ill advised.
But
yeah.
Jules, what I want to know, or rather try to understand, wrap my head around this. How, if the Belizean people, you know, seeing that interview with Piggy and everything, they come and see through everything, and they come and, they like, outright, yeah, that's
Yeah?
that's
Yeah.
not, yeah. And but how, come Paul, your bestie, you know, right hand.
You know, he's somebody else that kind of loves drama.
Oh, okay.
He's in France, by the way.
Oh,
You know, in the Cape,
Sacre
where to
bleu.
bring back, but I know to bring back something.
did you get something?
Yeah, I have to.
What do you think is Facebook?
Yo.
Maybe you finally get your uniform too when you get something.
It is said, yes, exactly. It is said that he left because of the threat. No, I would never put that on him. But the commissioner is traveling. But I think that the commissioner, to a certain extent, he's not averse to attention. He's not averse to drama. And so, you know, I think it's just a confluence of people who like a little bit a hot sauce.
All the spice, like
All
all
the
the ketchup
spice.
where you add to that.
Like
people
all the ketchup,
unnecessary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think that's what's happening. But again, at the end of the day, you might want to say, obviously, when you're taking out threats or when people feel there are threats on a magistrate's life,
Yeah.
that's a serious matter, not to be taken lightly.
Definitely.
But I think that there wasn't anything substantial enough other than hearsay, other than high talk or
I
drunk
just must say
talk.
hard talk or drunk talk. When in
Yeah.
the nighttime, most people say all kind of craziness, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
So I know you're threatening a teacher when me fail away back in that girl, you know, all kind of things happen then. But let's talk a little bit about the LIU.
Leadership Intervention Unit, they need an intervention.
They need some
No,
surveillance. they need
No, I'm
something
just saying, you know, it's a program we support. We've had them here many times.
Yeah.
And I think those guys are working extremely hard. But they sent out this really sad press release, right? The Leadership Intervention Unit is appalled at the allegations made in a news item here on Channel 7. And then the release goes on to confirm that the allegations were in fact factual. And they're like, yeah, but we even make a mistake with the payroll, and that's why you think. But when you think, when you sit on paper, that's not really where they go on. What you think isn't really. So it's like that trade license. It's like the trade license bill. You know, these guys came here and said, no, that's not happening. But that's the way the paper says.
Exactly.
It's not with villages. We only got to list every village council on the paper. So I'm just saying is that you don't worry about where you see in a black and white. Trust me. So anyway, as it says, he entered in the middle of our payment cycle and therefore received compensation for April 25th to May 6th, which is the period we're talking about. So to give the background on the story, City Council employee, former City Council employee, Tariq James, we found evidence that he made a double dip, being paid by the City Council and being paid by the Leadership Intervention Unit for a 1 week intersection. It is our duty to report such things. I'm very concerned that LIU funds are being programmed through Belize City Council. I'm very concerned when politicians are making decisions on which gang-affiliated persons to pay, because politicians and gangs have an intimate, secret relationship. When it's election day, politicians activate gangs because they are huge blocks of voters. They activate gangs to get voters together to go vote for them. So once I see the state starting to pay gangsters, as they did in the UDP, and they are now doing in the PUP, and I understand what's behind the program. but it has to be monitored very closely because once
Definitely.
politicians are deciding who gets to go on that list, we on the list of persons being paid, we are in problems
Yeah.
because the politicians are paying it forward for protection, for election day vote movement. So that's why we have to pay special attention to it. So I'm saying the LIU sent out a release saying that, we make a mistake, but the owner wrong. It's sad. It's sad.
I'm
Like, it's a waste
appalled.
of ink.
I'm appalled.
You're appalled.
Man,
I'm appalled.
Jules, I
It's
appalled
sad.
Channel 7, man. They tell the truth, but not really the truth, but the truth. I just upsetting. You know, let's talk a little bit about Switzerland, man, because we feel like we just.
Switzerland. Yo, man, I had to wait for get some Swiss chocolates.
Oh, you want to take a selfie of it?
So, if we have video of the World Health Assembly, if we could start with that. The World Health Assembly is meeting from May 22nd to the 28th, I think, in Switzerland.
Right.
This is the WHO. It's the World Health Organization's biggest annual meeting.
Yeah.
It's important that we have representation. I think they did it virtually last year. But it's important that we have representation, and the minister has gone, understood, and the new director of public health and wellness, Dr. Melissa Diaz, has gone. Yo, that's in the game. That's
Good, yeah.
That's the representation we need.
Check
It's-
mark, yes, proper.
Check. However, it was brought to my attention that the minister's secretary is seeing, it seems that she went, I haven't seen the list of the delegates yet, hasn't been posted, we've been checking, but it seems that the minister's secretary,
there
I
she
believe her first name is Fiona,
Love the outfit.
she is in Geneva, Switzerland as well.
Okay.
I am not aware under what circumstances she went,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
if
What
that
her-
is state to pay for that, I have a problem. This is not the time. Remember, the Prime Minister announced that we already had a 22% overrun in operating costs last year.
Yeah.
Why? Because the government overspent by 22% more than projected. Now that COVID has fallen away, man, they broke out. Broke out. We going on this trip. We not miss on trip. We
Or a
ain't hit this
picture.
trip. We ain't
Or a picture. We
or a
don't-
picture.
nothing.
We not miss on per diem. The per diem, the roll, 140 a day,
Yeah.
a day in it. I'm just saying, I understand. Officials have to make representation, that's fine. But you know, you can't, that's not in the game. You can't carry Miss Fiona, your secretary, who came over from SMART. You can't take, you can't, it's not in the game.
Right.
And then even if you do, you can't impose off, that's not in the game.
I just to try to understand the capacity that she went.
That's-
like,
that's-
I don't know.
That's,
questioning
that's
too,
my
yeah.
big question. Like, okay, did she go to take minutes? Did she go to document meetings? But like, what was the capacity that? And then again,
What
you don't have
concerns
the
me
list
is
of
I do
delegates.
not know who paid. I pray that
Oh.
the state did not, but all indications are that the state
we
did.
did, yeah.
And if the state paid, it's obscene. It's really a bit much. And really, it shows that the government is living, it's like our turn now.
Mm-hmm.
COVID done, we just ain't live. Because they don't got no opposition up
Just
in
living
this.
life.
We there in here for 2 terms. Uno do, uno and do. Bex if uno and bex.
That's true.
But this is how we, LL Cool J in the 90s had a great song. I'm fronting, I don't care if you know. Like, I don't care. It's only, oh, you know? Okay. Well, good that you know.
Well, they're securing the purse with all this tax recommendations that they have on the trace license bill, so we can see more trips.
Oh,
coming up.
trade license, boy, yeah.
Yeah, that's-
you know,
that's the
and
first right
that trade license, they're having the committee meeting today.
Yes.
Artists,
And we-
please come out. Just please.
Yes, but you know, artists on a Monday morning, we gonna see 4 this morning. How we gonna get there for 10?
But drag on yourself.
Exactly.
Drag
So
on-
I think that's always a concern for me that artists should go and represent, but you're talking about people who do not have the same circadian cycles of office people, right?
Right.
Office people know you have to wake up, or for you guys especially, you have to wake up at a very early hour. But I wanted to point out, I guess we're moving to the other
the
subject.
tender
Yeah.
committed troubles.
So the tender committee troubles. I want to read a letter. I don't know if that's the secretary that wrote the letter, but I want to just read from a letter. I don't think Abdul has it, but I want to just quickly pull up this letter, and you will see a level of writing signed by the minister that is appalling and concerning. So I'm saying that it says the dispute on the tender committee is this: they have a tender committee to select which pharmaceutical products the government will buy from which supplier.
Right.
Yeah.
Historically, it has always been, from my experience, an area for hustling against the best public interest. And this is a PUDP phenomenon.
Right.
This is the way I love. Because you get the tender and then you say, boy, I cut you in, but you have to cut me in. And that's how it works. You get a percentage of their profits.
Yeah.
That's historically how it works.
Hand wash hand.
Hand wash hand behind
With the
door.
extra soap and everything.
Exactly. So now, and I did have concerns about tenders given out under the last minister. We have asked when this new minister came in, we need to see the tenders. Of course, nobody has seen anything. We still haven't seen the tenders. People in health haven't seen the tenders. I'm just saying, this is how they roll, because you know how they run our business, so we, right?
Right.
We are silent. We are silent shareholders. All we do that, we take the losses. But how governments work is we run this business for you. Shh, shh. I run it to you.
It's in your best interest.
Yeah, I mean doing it in your best interest.
No,
Not
ask no
me,
question.
Exactly. So now the new minister had an extended tender committee,
Right.
more room for oversight, more room for scrutiny, more input, power to that.
Love it.
Then suddenly we heard earlier this week that it was disbanded. It had been disbanded. And it had been disbanded because the ministry basically kicked off the members appointed by the Belize Medical and Dental Association and the Belize Pharmacy Association, saying that you all have a conflict of interest. Well, I don't know which pharmacists in Belize will not have some perceived conflict of interest with because they buy from pharmaceutical companies too.
Definitely, yeah.
So then you have to go to the declaration. Before they joined the task force, they signed a confidentiality and a no conflict agreement.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, so you're saying, Dr. Greg Pott, who was serving on it, he was the appointee of the Belize Medical Dental Association, said, no, you have a conflict of interest. You have to roll. He says, but he's a practitioner of 50 plus years. He's one of the most no-nonsense individuals you'll meet.
And he's a
said,
selected person by the
yeah,
dental.
and he signed under a
Right.
no conflict agreement.
Yeah.
So you're saying that I'm a liar, that I lied. Man, like you can see the level of insult. This man is over 70 years old, a very senior medical practitioner who's been in the public healthcare system with an unimpeachable professional reputation for decades. Decades, though. And you can tell this man, yo, I know what you signed, but you lying. How, Fryer? Send me somebody better than he.
All right.
So,
That's just one person, right?
yeah, and the representative of Pharmacy Association, who is the president, Selene Villanueva, I want to think. She was also asked to step aside due to a conflict. She didn't want to comment. And, you know, she's a village council chairman. There's a political dimension to her situation. But I'm just saying that it's outrageous. No, the minister, I did contact him for a comment. He said that, you know, we did have this perceived conflict of interest and we are moving on. The work is important and we've already started reconvening. We heard reports that the chairman, Dr. Solarzano, had resigned, but he didn't want to speak. So I don't have that confirmed, but we know that there was a disruption in the work of this important committee. And I don't believe the BMDA has assigned a new member. So it is proceeding without that member at least.
Right.
But I'm just saying, you know, it goes
It's really
right back.
conflicting.
Yeah, I'm saying there has to be more transparency in the award of these tenders.
Yeah, and that's why
Because-
it's important for them to appoint who they want in this committee because it allows for proper monitoring
Exactly.
of the process, right?
And
People
Dr.
will
Pott
have
said-
experience.
Yeah.
And Dr. Pott told me something that is really consequential. He said that he did not like the conduct of the first meeting he attended because he said that you should not look at names of suppliers. You should look at brands and costs.
Yeah.
But he said that they were being asked to look at the names of suppliers as well,
Yes, sir.
which is, in his word, in his very professional word, he found it distasteful,
Yeah.
right?
And I agree with him.
And he's been on tender committees before, so he knows that this is not a best practice.
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't know nothing. You know what you know? You know you need to go home. Go home.
I ain't gone home though.
Well, you have to. They revoked his appointment.
Wow.
So, but I want to read the letter signed by the Minister of Health and Wellness. I hope it is not the same secretary that typed it. It says that the Ministry of Health and Wellness informs you we are suspending representation to the tender committee with immediate effect due to the postponement as indicated by the chairman. The ministry is operating to a strict STRIK with a capital S. Strict capital S timeline due to the already started processing of the proceeding of this minister to reserve the right to review. This is all one sentence. To reserve the right to review these processes to ensure approvals are done in a timely manner to avoid any more undue delays that will cause unnecessary stock out and unavailability of vital pharmaceutical and related mental supply. One paragraph, one sentence. Signed by the minister. I'm just saying, right? Like that. I pray that it is not the same secretary
Yeah.
who is in Geneva. Geneva. I hope I get some Swiss chocolates. All this thing.
And I think you're getting none right.
I think. Anyway, I'm just saying. So that's an area that we'll continue to look at because there has to be transparency
Definitely.
in these things.
And as we're moving on to the last topic for beef, let's talk
That
about
goes right to transparency.
Yes.
So now the government is traveling. They had a contingent in Austria last week. They had a contingent right now in Switzerland. The Prime Minister just came back from Guyana. But one place they aren't going is St. Kitts and Nevis. I think we can put up the website, Abdul. St. Kitts and Nevis is having the 8th Commonwealth Caribbean Anti-Corruption Conference. Now, this is a
And
conference.
we are not attending.
We are not attending. Why we attend? You know why we not attend? Abdul, if you could bring it up, I could use the agenda points on that
We should send our
on that
secretary.
mail. But yeah, we should send our secretary.
Right? At least
But-
the secretary
At least
there.
have some.
No, it's not that. Oh, I wanted to mention. I didn't mention that last year it's an improvement, even though I complain about secretary. Last year at the World Health Assembly, scroll it down, guys. Belize was represented. I think they had it virtual, but there was a later trip to Switzerland. Belize was represented by Dr. Raul Ibanez, Senior Advisor, Ministry of Health, who is not a doctor. He is the Minister's Special Advisor. But he was put there as a doctor last year, right? So we are just, if you look at these other countries, like then they send real people, the Registrar, Ministry of Health, Assistant Secretary, Minister of Health, Acting Permanent Secretary in other countries, right? But we just send a graphic designer who was the Minister's Special Advisor. I hope he's a doctor of graphic design.
All right.
But I'm just
You
saying,
look like a doctor. I'm going to give you a doctor
Maybe.
title.
yeah, Dr. Raul
Maybe you get,
Ibanez.
maybe you get it from one of their schools with honorary doctorate. Jews, you don't know.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's been
don't know.
trending.
Yeah, no, that's
That's been trending.
University of Fargania. I got two from there.
Or none of your business.
Anyway, I'm just saying, so even though I may complain about a secretary traveling, Raul, he better than we're sending a graphic designer as a doctor.
Yeah, design good flyers.
We once sent Pablo Marin, and he became Dr. Saul Marin,
true.
Doctor of Electricity,
Man, this doctor to get us.
I know, electrician doctor. Anyway, back to transparency. Because we only got that transparency from the WHO website. Abdul, if we can pull up the Corruption Perception Index, yes, 8th Commonwealth Caribbean Anti-Corruption Conference. So Belize isn't attending, but you know why Belize isn't attending? Because we are not rated on the Corruption Perception Index. You look up Barbados narrated, Jamaica narrated, Honduras, Guatemala,
How we
Nicaragua,
rated?
which is like in socialist mode. They're rated. Costa Rica, everybody around us is rated. Belize is not rated. This was one of the great hallmarks of the UDP. We never got rated. We know the deal with that. Can we not lie? We're not thief. Good, whatever. Lies. I'm just saying, but no, the PUP, which is all about transparency, they're not sending nothing. So Belize is still not rated on the Corruption Perception Index.
Wow.
Still not rated on the Corruption Perception Index. So I'm saying that when you click on it, no data available for your country. But bring back the subjects, Abdul. Scroll it back up, please. if you could scroll. So I want to go through these subjects. Among the topics that are being discussed, the conference started today in St. Kitts.
Okay.
Public and private sector anti-corruption regimes. No interest. We're not interested in that. Loopholes in public procurement. We love loopholes. We want the loopholes. Is it about how to make the loopholes bigger?
Right.
We are jump through them there like hula hoops. We're not worried about nothing.
Yeah, because it's tender thing we're talking about, this issue with the tender committee. It's public procurement.
Right.
How to make loopholes bigger. That's the conference we attend. Good. Risk management and law enforcement, move on from that. The role of civil society, traditional media, social media, the church and NGOs. You know what your role is? Oh no, stay quiet and make we do what we need to do. Completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're not interested in that role. The role of civil society is to roll over. Good. Life cycle approach, sociology and formal education in schools. This is so important. How do people know that you should expect transparency in a democracy? This is a culture. This has to be cultured into people through education.
Yeah.
You have to be exposed to concepts of transparency and accountability from a young age to know that that is what is expected in any system. In the school you're in the government that serves you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why no interest in that. Contrasting, this is so important, contrasting investment in prevention versus enforcement, investigation, and litigation. This commission of inquiry that they had into the sale of government assets is going to end up costing the government, costing taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars in litigation costs and the damages that have to be paid to the same politicians they were investigating because they did the investigation wrongly.
Right.
So I'm saying that you're going to have to pay Dean Barrow. You're going to have to pay Hugo Pat. You're going to have to pay Godwin Holtz. All these people are going to have to be compensated for the damage caused to their name because the job wasn't done right. That is versus enforcement, investigation. That's investigation and litigation. So what this is saying is contrast the investment, put money in preventing corruption
Right.
rather than trying to address it retroactively. How many commissions of inquiry we've had under the UDP, now under the PUP, Senate inquiry, days and days, not a single person arrested.
But we never need to go to this meeting, Jules. We good over our side. We got
You know?
good governance.
Why some countries are improving on the Transparency International Index? You know why we don't care about that? Because we not going on the index, because we not accountable, because we not believing in transparency.
We not sending nothing.
We not submit the homework, you know
we
why?
not submit because we don't need
Drop
to
ad, we the drop the course. We no could add that if we don't want, that's a pressure.
All right.
And the most important, utilizing blockchain technology to prevent corruption. So, you know, in the land system, people say, well, the corrupt, you have to pay this one. Put it in blockchain.
Yeah.
When it's in blockchain, nobody can touch it when it's at phase 1, except the phase 1 person. Phase 2 person can't go say, boy, make a push this thing through for you. You end up on minister desk, which is stage 10. Make a push it straight there. They can't because it's stuck in the blockchain. Person 1 has to deal with phase 1, person 2 has to deal with phase 2, and only person 2, person 3. That's how, and you can see it at every step of the way. You don't have to go ask, boy, who got the thing? Make a talk to the man. Done. No interest. Nobody no interest in your blockchain, yeah.
No, man, of course not. But Jules, I have to cut you.
Yes, I'm cut. I'm off.
I have to cut you.
The beef is a bit too well done. We wanted it medium rare. We like it a little bloody.
Well, I feel like the ketchup may add the blood feed to make we pretend like blood me there. So, without any further ado, thank you as always.
Thank you, Jules.
For just to give you a little tip into your head on how you to think about things and what is happening, what is not happening, what is selfish to go. We need to have a lot of answered questions of why things are happening the way, why we not go to meetings, and why people go to other meetings.
we gone a
and-
meeting. I going to Switzerland and St. Kitts
You going?
virtually today.
You going?
I'm going to take a
I
trip
love it for
inside
you.
my head.
I love it for you.
I'll take the Concorde.
Okay. You got your carry Sharice with you?
She not good enough to go with me. So I'm going to link up with Chester over there.
Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I
France.
know you are interested at Elite 25. We're not spin
Yeah,
marble
okay.
on the block. All right.
Exactly.
So
I'm going to protect him from J Hart.
you
Very
protect
good.
her, Jules. You protect her. But without any further ado,
Jules, thank you.
guys,
That was a
we
good- that was a good
definitely have to go to our first commercial break and bring to you the Statistical Institute of Belize. We're going to be talking about the census and the importance of community participation. Thank you again, Jules. We'll be back here with you again next week, Monday, for the next juicy Monday morning beef, guys, with ketchup on everything what we put in there. But without any further ado, we must go to our commercial break. We'll be right back. We have a sunrise quarter. That you send this one, Jules?
Jules, the sunrise man.
That you?
Yeah.
Watch out. Who you take me off sunrise? I know you don't take me off with you.
Right, yeah, I have a photographer who lives in my house.
It be like that sometimes,
Yeah,
you know, with the
that's it.
same Switzerland money when I'm going to appear. I know, I get it.
Per diem.
But Sunrise and commercial, we'll be right back.